I'm leaving Lonestar Dads after 5 years, but it's not what you think. So you most recently saw that I said we're going to impact millions of dads across the country. The question is, how are we going to do that if I'm leaving Lonestar Dads? Doesn't really make sense, does it? Well, it does, but first let me go back a little bit. When I first started Lonestar Dads in Austin, we were able to do some of the coolest things I've ever accomplished in my life, and no, it has nothing to do with money. I took one dad who had never taken his son on an airplane, and we bought them a private biplane flight over downtown Austin. And we got to watch this kid's face light up the moment he saw that airplane and we walked onto that airfield. It meant the absolute world to him. I met another dad who had never taken his son saltwater fishing before. So we went, we paid for an Airbnb, we connected with a fishing guide out there, we got his son up on a boat, and he was able to pull in the biggest red about half the size of him, and he had the biggest smile on his face the entire time. Another dad, he had a fear of heights, and so what I did was I called him up, I said, hey, you want to face your fear of heights? And him and I went to jump out of an airplane. I spoke to another dad, and he hadn't been able to take his wife out on a date in a long time. And so what did we do? We paid for the babysitter, we reserved the limo, and we got him a unique date night with his wife on a floating dock in Austin to watch the bats fly from under the bridge. Another dad who was just so active in the community, I loved his mission and his purpose, we decided to pay for him to have a father-daughter date. So we sent a limo bus up to pick him and his daughter up, and we took him to a park where we had an exclusive special picnic set up just for him and his daughter. Every single one of these experiences had an impact on a dad. It changed somebody's life. It created a memory that I guarantee they still think about to this day. After having all that success in Austin, all I wanted to do was to grow and expand and have this impact in even more places. And I thought, oh, that'll be easy because I know exactly what I'm doing. So what I did was I took that concept and moved up to Dallas-Fort Worth, and we launched a chapter there. And in the first couple months of being there, we had an event, a horseback riding event, and we had over 400 people attend that event and come ride horses. Dads, moms, kids, and it was an amazing event. So Dallas-Fort Worth went great, so I was like, all right, we'll expand again. So I expanded to Houston. And we rented out an urban air in Houston, and over 350 dads, kids, and wives came out to that event. And that went great too. Then everything began to fizzle. I was spreading myself too thin, and I didn't live locally anymore. So I couldn't have the impact on each one of these cities that I wanted to have. I couldn't do what Lonestar Dads was built to do from day one, what we were doing since day one. Now here's what I want you to do. You just watched all the videos of all the amazing things that we did in Austin, the amazing events that we had in Houston and Dallas-Fort Worth. Here's what I want you to imagine. Imagine that in every city across the entire United States. You know what? Let's go a step further. Imagine that in every country across the world. Imagine a dad community in every area of every country, of every state, of every province, of whatever they call it. Imagine this happening everywhere across the world. That's where we're going. That's what we're doing. So, I am giving up all of my chapters that I started, and I'm giving them to chapter leaders who will do what I originally did in each chapter. They will focus on being community driven and making it local and strong and powerful, and we are going to do amazing things in each one of those cities, but it wouldn't happen if I had control of every chapter. There are men over the past month that have bought in to start their own chapter in different cities across the United States. These men have put their faith and their dedication into their local dad community. Because what I realized is I can't run them all, but if I can replicate me in every city, in every state, across the United States, across the world, imagine that. So what I've decided to do, I need to dedicate my time, my effort, my energy into helping these men succeed in each one of these cities across the United States. In order to do that, my focus needs to be on them, because if I want to impact millions, I'm not going to do that alone. I'm going to do that through every single chapter leader, the ones who dedicated their life to this, who invested their money into this, and who really want to have an impact on their local community. So what I am doing is I am relinquishing my rights to these chapters. You will now have new chapter leaders in each one of those, and we will continue to grow and expand city after city, state after state, and we are going to impact millions of people across the United States and hundreds of millions of dads across the world. That's where we're going next. Watch it. You don't want to miss this. When I say something's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'll see you on the other side.